so I'm at this point. I've got my thing on here. So far, so good. We're going to then be attaching the casing, but we need to attach the band on here too. Okay, so let me get the foot back on. There we go. Definitely stabbed myself under the finger. Okay, so this, there's now, what does my pattern piece look like? That is for that side. This is this side, that side, that side. Okay, so what I want to do is I actually want to clean finish my side seam. So this is my back, and yeah, it's pretty stretchy. This is for pretty small. This is for my sister. Hopefully this is going to be big enough for her. I may end up having to put a little hook and eye in here. We'll have to see. Because she's tiny. Plus this fabric's super stretchy, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich the side like this with that. So right sides together on, and we'll just do this first. We'll do right sides together on the band. Yeah, and it could be that if I actually added about 3/4 of an inch to the back, it might be better. But I don't have her right here to test this on her, because what I would do is I would just double check her measurements and see exactly how much it'll stretch around her body and so forth. But because we're social distancing, I can't really, I'm not getting that close to her. Just it sucks. She's got a more active lifestyle, and we just have to be extra careful with our parents, so. Yeah. And my dad is a lung transplant survivor, so we need to make sure that he is, we take extra care of him. Okay, so I've got this. And then I'm going to attach this at that 1/4 of an inch. And I'm doing it with the stabilizer down because it seems to not get chewed into my machine as much. Oh, never mind. I lied. It just got chewed into my machine. So let's flip it around and do it from the other direction. Again, I'm not doing any back stitching. I'm just trying to get it through the machine. And as you see, I kind of pulled my threads as I was doing that to help. Okay, so keeping a tail so it's easier to grab on. Go. There we go. Okay. So far, everything is looking good. I'm going to just kind of pin the top and bottom where that stabilizer is and around the cup. So the next thing I want to do is I actually want to attach elastic to the bottom of the band, and then I'm going to attach it to the cup, and then we'll do our elastic around the armhole in the neckline, so back neckline. Okay, so we have that. We're ready to go. Okay, so then we're going to put the elastic on the bottom and fold it up, and then we can do the top part. Okay, so now I'm over here and I'm going to attach this elastic, and this is just like it's about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to do this. So one thing I like to do, and let me set my light on, is I actually like to start by sewing on my elastic first. We do not want to cut off this elastic. So this elastic we're basically going to fold over onto itself so it's completely hidden. I'm not stretching it at all as I'm sewing it. I'm only moving it over to slightly cut off the bottom where it's uneven. But you do not cut your elastic, because if you cut your elastic, then your piece will slowly start falling apart. So just take it easy. And you can also just do this with the zigzag. I like to clean up my cutting with this machine because I don't use those X-Acto knives or the rotary blades, just because, first of all, I don't trust myself. I'm too distracted, especially after having my kid. Okay, there we go. Okay. So we got the bottom done. Now I'm going to just fold that up and we're going to zigzag that, and then we can attach this to the cup and we'll go back to the other machine. Okay, so now we're back over here. Hopefully I don't have too much of a mess going on over here so you can see what I'm working on. Okay, now I'm going to do my zigzag. So I got to change my foot. I'm going to put it, got my zigzag foot on, and I'm going to change to the zigzag stitch. So I'm going to basically be folding this over onto itself and doing a zigzag stitch on this. Let's see, I think the stitch length is good. Okay. Okay, the bottom is done. Now we can attach this to the cups. And so this is where we want to start over here. So we have a little excess over here underneath the arm. I'm going to cut this down a little bit. I'm just going to cut it down to the 3/8. I know I said don't do it earlier, but I like to only trim one thing at a time. So 3/8, 10 millimeters. You guys got it? Okay. This side. And it's just because of the stretch of the fabric. And if you're using I mean, everybody's sewing. I don't think anyone's sewing is perfect. So, you know, we're all liable to make mistakes. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to line this up. I'm going to take my zigzag off. And it may be more like 1/2 inch around everything. But where we're attaching it, we are only attaching it at 1/4. So I'm not going to be backstitching yet, because we don't want anything to get eaten in here. Because remember, we're going to be putting casing on here next. So, yeah. I'm not crazy about how that looks right now. Probably should have made things a little different. Probably should have come up a little bit higher, but hey, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Okay, over here, come all the way up. Okay, over here I'm really shy to the cup. You can see right that. So I'm actually going to be sewing, maybe, well, I'll try sew it at a shy 1/4. we got that attached. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our casing. In here. Okay. So now we're going to add our casing to the cup. So I'm going to take my casing with the, let's see, we want to do this, yeah, with this side up. And I'm going to stitch right on the edge. And yes, I've got black thread. And then I'm going to, threads. I basically want to line this up right on the edge. So where it would be kind of right where that stitch was that I did, but it should be right on the edge of the casing. So when you're doing this, it is not going to be on the cup itself. You are still just on the fabric. Well, I guess I can. Okay. I'm going to chop off a little bit right there. Looks like I missed a little bit. That's okay. I'll go back and get that, but it's on for the most part. All right. Yeah, I missed right here. So I'm just going to go back right where I missed. And you want to use a matching thread. I only did this because, well, hey, I didn't want to change the thread in my machine, but also you can see the white thread better against the black for tutorials. And oh my god, these threads are driving me nuts. Okay. We're going to take this again, sewing right on the edge. Sorry, can't see. Trying to mold it around. And if you need to seam rip a little bit of this once you actually get this on, that is fine too. You know, your first stitch does not have to be your only stitch. I think that was a little bit on the big side. I may have to seam rip something over there. Okay, so now this is on the side of the cup that was really, really shallow, really close to the cup itself. So this one I'm actually going to do smaller than where that stitch was. Hopefully it still hides everything. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, I think it looks good. I'm going to trim. Okay, I've got a lot of stuff. Don't tell me I just, okay, no. Okay, so we've got to finish up the casing, and then we got to deal with the strap. Okay, so and what we can always do is once we actually get the second stitch on here, if that stitch that was attaching the cup looks terrible, well, we can go back and remove it. Okay, so now what we're doing here is I need to trim some of this back. So where the casing will completely enclose it. So like when the casing comes over, like right there. Yep, this room gets vacuumed today, so. Okay, so we're gonna basically fold this back and stitch it. And that way we're gonna put the wire on the inside. Now, because there are so many different variables and we can't see what's going on, I wanna do it on this side. And I actually wanna sew, when I'm doing this, I'm gonna kind of fold it over, and I'm gonna try and make an even stitch around the top. That way we can always remove that other stitch, but we want to try and force it so it will be stitching onto the cup itself. So then if that first stitch is terrible, and here I will backstitch because we can now do that backstitch. So I'm going to use the edge of my foot. My foot is about 3/8 of an inch wide, maybe not quite that, but it's a little bit wider than normal. And I'm just going to use that edge of my foot as my guide. Okay, so you can see where I've got that old stitch. I can actually go in and remove it. And here, oh, I didn't quite catch that. So, and I missed right there too. So I'll have to go and do some seam whipping. I'll do that in a minute. So here, where the cup is a little bit further away, I'm actually going to have to kind of fold it and force it in. Got to sew right on the cup itself. Otherwise, the cup will be free hanging. Not sure I'm actually catching that cup. I will definitely have some seam ripping to do to fix some stuff. That's this. Now I'm gonna start swearing at my fabric. I'm officially fired because I just did a absolutely terrible job. Well, it looks kind of nice. My stitching over here, I completely missed the casing. Okay, so I am now going to go back again, this time on this side. Okay. Oh my God, my sewing's terrible. Okay. Almost done. We got to do the elastic underneath the arm, get the underwire in there, do a few more things. I'm going to trim this up and make this look a little bit nicer, and then we'll come back. Thanks for watching. If you would like to have more content like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment below. Thank you very much.